Hey everybody, welcome to Home with the Halsteads. Today we're making tomato Florentine soup. Doug and I went out to eat the other day for lunch, and I ordered some tomato Florentine soup, and I thought, I've not made this for my friends on Facebook and YouTube. So that's what we're going to be making today. Y'all, it has spinach in it. It has stewed tomatoes, and if you're a tomato lover, then you're going to love this soup. So let me gather all of my ingredients and let's get busy and we will make it together. Come on in my kitchen. I'm using a heavy-duty saucepan. I've used this many times when I make videos. It's deep enough and round enough to hold what we're making, but it's also shallow enough that you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to mix all of our liquid ingredients together. I have my burner here and I have it turned on probably about a medium heat. And I'm going to start by using 2 cans of chicken broth. This is a 14.5 ounce can of chicken broth. And you'll notice that I'm using 33% less sodium, because a lot of the ingredients that I'm using have a lot of sodium in it, and I am really trying to cut back on that. So we've added 1, and now we're going in with our 2nd can of chicken broth. I love this soup. It is so good. So I'm going to add next our stewed tomatoes. I'm using 1 14.5 ounce can of stewed tomatoes. I'm not advertising for any of these brands. It's what I had in my pantry. And these are stewed tomatoes. Now I took them, placed them in this bowl and chopped them up. So I'm just going to add them to our chicken broth. So now we have chicken broth and stewed tomatoes. We're making a good base here. It's going to be so good. Next, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of tomato juice. I keep tomato juice in the real tiny cans in my refrigerator. Doug likes to drink that sometimes as a little appetizer before we eat dinner or lunch, or sometimes he'll come in and just grab one as a little snack. So I'm using 1.5 cups of tomato juice. And next, I'm adding 1 10.5 ounce can of condensed tomato soup. This is going to be a really nice broth that will serve as the base of our tomato Florentine soup. And I know you're thinking, Joyce, your saucepan is not large enough. I think it's going to be just right. So I'm adding this, getting it all out of the can, and just stirring that around. Now, we just need to let this heat up. We don't want it to start to a rolling boil, by no means. So I'm just stirring this, making sure that that soup is all combined and blended together. And I'm going to let this get hot, really hot, and then I'll come back and we'll add our other ingredients. But while this is cooking and heating up, I'm going to cook 1 cup of elbow macaroni. You can use any type pasta that you want to. You could use plain macaroni, just whatever you've got in your pantry. But I'm going to cook 1 cup of dry of these bow ties right here, and I'll cook it according to the directions on the back of the package. So let me heat this up. Let me get the bow ties going, and I will be right back. Our liquid ingredients are hot, and so now we're ready to add other ingredients. I'm using 1 tablespoon of white granulated sugar, and I'm also using 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine my sugar and my nutmeg together. You know, a lot of times your spices will rise to the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix the dry ingredients together before I add them to the liquid. So I'm just pouring this in, stirring it as I'm pouring. And we are moving right along. This recipe is so simple, quick, and easy, and it's just going to be delicious. So now we're going to add our spinach. 1 10-ounce package of frozen chopped spinach. And again, I'm not advertising, I'm just using products that I love. So now I'm going to take this out of the package. It's still frozen. So let me get it out if I can. Just kind of dump it out like that. And I'm just going to very carefully slide this down into the soup. And what we want to do, y'all look at that. That chopped spinach is beginning to break up. This is going to add color to our soup. It's going to add flavor. It's going to be healthy. It's just going to be so, so good. So now I'm going to let this melt and let it cook until the spinach is tender. When it gets tender, then we'll add our last ingredient. Okay, our tomato Florentine soup to this point has simmered for about 20 minutes. That was after I got the juices hot, and I added the spinach, the sugar, and the nutmeg. So I've let it simmer for about 20 minutes, and the spinach is tender. So now we're ready to add our cooked noodles, and I just drained the juice off of this. Remember, I cooked 1 cup of dry noodles, and this is going to make probably about 1.5 cups of cooked bow tie pasta. So here we go. We're just going to stir this in. You could add more or less pasta if you wanted to, but I don't like a lot in this. And y'all, I have a saucepan full of tomato Florentine soup. It's going to be so, so good. You can serve this with cornbread. Maybe make some muffins. That would be so, so good. You could serve it with crackers. You could serve it with a grilled cheese sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just whatever your heart desires. So now that we have our cooked bow tie pasta mixed in, we just want to let this continue to sit here and continue to get heated throughout. And probably 10 minutes will do it, and then it'll be ready to serve. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching our entire video. Tell me in the comments if you've ever had tomato Florentine soup, or if you have made tomato Florentine soup. If you're having friends over or family over, this would be a wonderful dish to make, to serve just 1/2 cup. That's a little appetizer. If you want to go fancy and have soup and salad and then your main course and all of that good stuff and your dessert, then this would be a great soup to offer your friends as well and your family. So have a blessed day, and don't forget to share our videos. I'm now posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'm trying to hang with you, and you certainly are doing a great job hanging with me. I love you, and I'll see you again really, really soon.